Hello, good evening. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Tuesday, November 15th. This will be the Waiver Wire Wednesday video. I like to call it the Waiver Wire Wednesday video because I like alliteration. I used to be a writer back in my youth, and I thought being a writer was going to be the career path that I went down, but some unfortunate circumstances happened that kind of ruined that whole thing for me before it really ever began. And I miss writing. I miss writing a lot. It's kind of why I do these videos. It kind of gives me a release of some creative expression, and kind of gives me an outlet to do the thing that I can't do professionally, but wish I could. I would love to write a novel someday. I got some ideas. A novel just at this point just seems so overwhelming. Like it's gotta be long. You gotta have some dialogue. You gotta have some, you gotta have some build up. I don't even know where to begin. But I miss sports writing a lot. I miss my favorite thing to do. Obviously, other than going to the game and being paid to watch the game and stuff like that. But my favorite thing to do is to do in-depth feature stories on athletes, get to know them as a person. And I'm not talking about puff pieces or asking the same old stupid stereotypical cookie cutter questions. I wanted to get to the soul of these athletes, and I don't know how to describe it, but I miss it. I miss, I had a mentor tell me that I had voice. And voice is a thing that you just have. You don't find it. You can't buy it. You can't. A lot of writers go their whole lives looking for a voice, and I had it, and I miss it. I miss doing that, but this is, this works in the meantime. And I just got back from Southern California yesterday. I went to, I flew into San Diego because San Diego is the city I've always wanted to see. And, I can't say I didn't like it. I liked it. I liked the weather. Obviously, everybody likes the weather. That's why so many people live there. I loved Point Loma, the Point Loma area, the whole area. Not even just the coastal part, the fort part, the National Monument part, the beach part. I liked the whole. Even up north, Point Loma, the whole neighborhood is it's real nice. I probably never will. But if I let's say I get a job offer I can't refuse, or I meet a woman who is in San Diego and I decide to move there. If I move to San Diego, Point Loma is definitely the area of town that I would like to be in. And then I went up to LA for the football game. Got to watch my Vikings win against the Chargers in LA at SoFi Stadium. Beautiful stadium. I had a much more pleasant experience at this game than I did when I went to Seattle to watch the game a couple of years ago. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the fact that the Vikings lost that game and they won this game, so it's just a whole different vibe for me. But SoFi was just so nice. It's a magnificent stadium. There's room, not really in the seats. The seats were crowded, but out in the concourse when you're walking around, you want to go to the bathroom, it was pleasant. It wasn't jam-packed. You could actually get through. The lines for concessions weren't super long. It was just a much more pleasant experience all around. And, maybe I was telling myself if I didn't enjoy going to this football game, I was never going to go to another one because, I love football. I love to watch it. Obviously, I love the, fantasy football, but I find it a much more enjoyable experience to watch it from home or at a bar or something, because going to the games, there's just so many people. It's so expensive. You can barely see what's going on the field unless you get really great seats. Or you want to watch the Jumbotron, but basically you're just watching TV at that point still, right? So, and then the lines, it's just ridiculous. The SoFi, much more pleasant experience. The only problem, that I had is I was wearing my Viking horn thing. It's like rubber or something cheap. It's a heat conductor. I already, sweat a lot. I don't need help sweating. So that thing was just, I was wearing that thing walking up the stairs, pretty steep stairs up into the nosebleeds where I was seated. Man, I was just it was like it was raining from my head. Man, it was crazy. But that's more of a personal thing than a design flaw in SoFi. SoFi was great. I recommend going there. And actually, I always heard bad things about Inglewood, California, but it wasn't all that bad. It was pretty chill there. My hotel was real close to the stadium, so I was able to walk back to my hotel after the game. And there was a shuttle right off the train stop, shuttle over to the stadium. Easy access. It was also the shuttle and the train stop was like 2 blocks from my hotel, so it was pretty nice. I was able to go stop by my hotel, drop my stuff off, come back, catch the shuttle, get to the game way early. And yeah, so day 3 yesterday was was the worst day of the trip, though. I wanted to go out to Catalina Island because Catalina Island was the one place in Southern California that other than San Diego, the only one place in the LA area that I really always wanted to go to. So I tried to get on a cruise early in the morning. Turns out you have to schedule it at least 4 hours in advance. Okay, I didn't know that. It didn't say that anywhere on the website. So I was not able to get on that one, unfortunately, because that was my plan. Was to spend the morning out there and come back and do something else in my afternoon. And then the next one was like later in the afternoon, and it would have got me. I wouldn't have got back till like 7 o'clock, 7:30, and that was when my flight was supposed to board. But my flight ended up getting delayed an hour and a half, which would have been nice to know at the time, right? So that I could have went out there to Catalina and had some fun and did what I wanted to do with my day. And LAX, what a terrible freaking airport. I don't know what their story is, but like in any other airport, you have like a concourse, you get like a hallway, you got a bunch of stores, you can go explore, you can go walk around, you can sit down and eat, kill some time for an hour or two. This place, I think it had a lot to do with there was a lot of delayed flights, so there was a lot more people in there than there should have been. So there was nowhere to sit. All the restaurants were full because people who had delayed flights were not going to give up their spot until they could board, right? So people like us, the new people who were waiting to come in for their flight, had nowhere to sit, nowhere to go. And it's like this little, it wasn't a hallway or anything. It was like a big, like a conference room that they put a couple of gates in. And then they put like maybe 2 restaurants, 3 stores or something, very small area, and half the stores were closed. So all the restaurants were full. One little store, one little convenience store that didn't have any postcards, which I've always been able to find postcards at the airport. Every airport I've been to. LAX is the first one. LAX is the first airport I've ever had a delay. LAX is the first airport I've ever not been able to go, like, explore the airport. And I'm just stuck in this big-ass room with all these other people. It was ridiculous. And then delayed flight for an extra hour and a half. Maybe I had to sit there and deal with that misery for an extra hour and a half. I don't know if that's just a temporary thing because of COVID, because they did seem to be very COVID strict there, or if it's like if it's just that closed off all the time. I don't know. I don't intend to ever find out. I'm probably never going to go to LAX again. I will avoid that airport from now on. There's lots of other airports in LA or the LA area that I can fly into, like such as Long Beach, or Santa Ana, Orange County, Anaheim, Burbank. Even just go down to San Diego again, like I did the first time flying to San Diego. That was a nice airport right downtown. Had no problems with San Diego. I don't like LAX though. I don't recommend flying in or out of LAX. Okay, we're 10 minutes in. Let's get to the stuff you actually care about, the stuff you tuned in for. The waiver wires priorities for week 11. I've got 16 for you, starting with, as always, the quarterbacks, because they're kind of, I wouldn't say they're the least important. You want to have a good quarterback. You want to stream the right quarterback when you're needing to stream. But waiver wire priority-wise, probably lower on the list, right? So quarterbacks, I got 2 for you. Cam Newton, I know Cam Newton is going to be a big, hot pickup because he's back with the Panthers and he should start this week. I'm not convinced. I'm not sold on him being fantasy relevant. He hasn't been very good for the last couple of years, but I don't blame you for wanting to go get Cam Newton. And Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has been lighting it up for the last 3 weeks, and Jimmy Garoppolo at this point probably is a guy that, if you're needing to stream, Jimmy Garoppolo is the one guy you should be getting. Oh, before I proceed, I want to talk about a couple of guys who are above the 50% threshold, but are going to be some really hot waiver wire pickups for this week if they're available in your leagues. A.J. Dillon, of course, is going to be the new running back for the Packers with Aaron Jones out at least 3 weeks. A.J. Dillon was already very fantasy relevant before the injury. Now he's going to move into possibly the running back one conversation. If A.J. Dillon is available in your league and you have a high waiver priority, you should be trying to get him. And Robbie Anderson, now that Sam Darnold is gone, and the irrational hate that Sam Darnold had for Robbie Anderson because of their days together with the Jets, I'm just speculating. Sam Darnold didn't want to throw the ball to Robbie Anderson because they were together on the Jets, and Sam Darnold, doesn't want to remember anything about the Jets. Robbie Anderson wasn't much help to him with the Jets, so he's like, F this guy, I'm not throwing him the ball, whatever the reason may be. But Cam Newton did throw him a touchdown pass in very limited snaps last week. So there could be some chemistry there already. We know Robbie Anderson can be productive when a quarterback is actually trying to throw the ball to him, which P.J. Walker, Cam Newton, whoever it is, should be trying to do. I like Robbie Anderson, again, back on our rosters, at least for depth piece to see if he can pop here in the second half. Moving on to the tight ends now. I actually have 3, and I like all 3 of them. We're going to start with Dan Arnold because he's getting a heck of a lot of targets and a heck of a lot of... He's just been flat out productive since coming to Jacksonville. Quietly productive because I don't think he's got a touchdown, and Jacksonville's terrible. But Dan Arnold might be the most reliable pass catcher in Jacksonville right now. Next, Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin might be a thing. He got 2 touchdown catches this Sunday. I was there. I saw that. If this new Vikings offense, this more aggressive Vikings offense that worked so successfully on Sunday, was so fun for us Vikings fans to watch. We've been craving this. We've been begging Mike Zimmer for this for years. I doubt it's going to stick. Mike Zimmer is who he is at this point. He's a pretty old man, pretty stubborn guy. I doubt it's going to stick. He's going to go back to the conservative approach for the next 3 or 4 weeks until they start losing some games and we start bitching. Then he'll do it again for 1 week. He's not going to stick to it. I really hope I'm wrong on that, but I just know this guy. He's not ever going to change fully. But if this new offense does stick, Tyler Conklin could be a thing, and someone that you should be looking at as a second tight end. And Pat Freiermuth, he's making those lists again. I know he didn't score a touchdown this last week. You can't really expect that to continue every single week, but his floor is 6 targets. He hasn't had less than 6 targets in the last month. And his yardage pretty similar, 30s to between 30 and 50 yards, which 6 catches, 50 yards, not terrible, right? The touchdown, the touchdowns are nice. They're going to help you win your week, but 6 catches, 50 yards, that's pretty good for a tight end in 2021. So I mean, you could do much worse at tight end than Pat Freiermuth. Next, the wide receivers, I don't have a whole lot of them. Darnell Mooney is the top of my list of wide receivers. We saw what he was kind of doing. Him and Justin Fields seem to have a little bit of chemistry. I know the Bears' offense is a mess. I'm not sure what we're going to see from them moving forward, but Darnell Mooney is looking like the guy to have in the Bears' pass-catching core. Unfortunately for Allen Robinson, and unfortunately for me being so completely wrong on Allen Robinson, Rashad Bateman makes the list again. I'm not the only person hyping up Rashad Bateman. All the experts are doing it too. The talent is there. The opportunity is there. It's just a matter of time. So you don't want to be the guy who misses out on Rashad Bateman. down the stretch, right? I've been saying that for a couple of weeks. I think he's going to be a league winner. Don't miss out on Rashad Bateman. His ownership is creeping up to 50%. He's probably not going to be on this list again next week. Don't miss out. And lastly, Russell Gage. I know he had a pretty crappy week this Sunday. I told you all, Cowboys, Dan Quinn and the Cowboys defense were going to shut the Falcons down, and they did that. But I don't anticipate that continuing. I think Russell Gage is kind of the de facto wide receiver 1 right now with Calvin Ridley out. So he should continue to see a high amount of targets and a decent amount of production moving forward. Now, running backs. I've got a lot of them. It's kind of hard to sift through them. But I'm going to do my best. Obviously, Ramondre Stevenson is number 1. He's going to be everyone's number 1 waiver wire target, unless, of course, A.J. Dillon is available. Ramondre Stevenson, I've been saying this since the preseason. Ramondre Stevenson looks like the best running back the Packers have. I mean, the Patriots have. Damian Harris is just a guy. Damian Harris is productive. Damian Harris, gets a lot of volume. He gets into the end zone. He's decent. He's not bad. I'm not trying to diss on Damian Harris. He's just a guy. He's just a plotter. He's not fast. He's not shifty. He gets it done. But Ramondre Stevenson is a guy who is dynamic. Ramondre Stevenson looks like a game changer at that position for the Patriots. They need to give him more run. They need to give him the job over Damian Harris. Maybe keep Damian Harris as the goal line guy, like the Cardinals have been doing with James Conner. But Ramondre Stevenson, between the 20s, needs to be the guy. Next, let's try and sift through this. Devontae Freeman, Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray should be back this week after being out for a month. Who the hell knows who's going to be the lead back in that old over-the-hill gang of running backs? I know they released Le'Veon Bell today. They don't seem to have any faith in Tyshawn Williams. It's going to be Devontae Freeman or Latavius Murray. They're probably going to split work. They're both going to be moderately productive. Neither one of them is going to be sexy. Neither one of them is going to, be a league winner for you. But they could be a decent flex play on a week-to-week basis. And so maybe try to pick up both of them. Again, also, for the Eagles, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott. Who the heck knows? That backfield's also a mess. Miles Sanders could be back this week as well. That could change things, but I really don't think the Eagles don't like Miles Sanders. They never really have liked Miles Sanders. I don't know why they drafted him. I don't know why they don't just trade him. Because now that Miles Sanders is out, they're running the ball more, right? So that just shows you all these Miles Sanders believers need to get over it. He's not good. The Eagles do not like him, and they're not going to give him the ball. So even if he is healthy, who the hell knows what Miles Sanders' situation is going to be. Honestly, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have any of these Eagles backs. We wouldn't have to deal with this. But Boston Scott and Jordan Howard, in the 3 weeks that Miles Sanders have been out, have been far more productive than Miles Sanders was before he got hurt. And I would not bank on Miles Sanders being productive when he returns. It's going to be Jordan Howard. Most likely he's going to be the most consistent because he's going to get in the red zone. He's going to get the goal line work. But Boston Scott, every time he's been given a chance, has done pretty well for himself. And I think the Eagles need to recognize that and give him a little bit more work. Maybe just move on. Just phase out Miles Sanders completely. Give it to Jordan Howard. Boston Scott 50-50. I think that'd make all of us a little happy. Also, Jamal Williams of the Lions. He should be back this week. When he's on the field, he's been very prevalent in that Lions offense. Very involved. So he could remain a low-end flex play for you. He also is just barely crept under the 50% threshold. And not lastly, but a couple more. Deontay Foreman looks, again, who the hell knows with the Titans backfield, right? But Deontay Foreman looks, it's not going to be Jeremy McNichols, I think. I think I was wrong on that one. Deontay Foreman and Adrian Peterson, 50-50 shot there. Adrian Peterson is owned more than 50% leagues. Deontay Foreman's not. That will probably creep up after tomorrow morning, but, he's a guy you probably could get. Low-end flex play. And lastly, Jeff Wilson Jr., a lot of talk that he might be splitting some carries with Elijah Mitchell or even overtake Elijah Mitchell. I don't know. I don't see it. But if you need some help, he's a risk worth taking on waivers, or even possibly you probably get him after waivers clear. All right, I am over 20 minutes. I didn't intend to be over 20 minutes, but I'm not going to be too far over 20 minutes. Hopefully I can get this uploaded here shortly. I was going to go to the movies tonight because I thought there'd be some new releases this weekend, but there wasn't. So I don't know. Maybe probably still gonna go because Tuesday is discount day. It's 50% off day, and like I don't know. I guess I'm just jonesing, just missing the theater. And I'm thinking about going to see James Bond again. No Time to Die. I thought that was a pretty good movie. It's still playing, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna get this video posted and then put in my waivers for tomorrow. So may the best man win. Good luck to you. Peace, love, and nacho fries.